Good evening, dear ladies. I'm so happy to be with you here. I didn't feel well, Baruch HaShem. I would like to tell you, B'siyata Dishmaya, that my daughter gave birth to a son on Shavuot. It was B'sha'a Tova. It was the Brit. The Brit was in Crown Heights, and her son's name is Chaim Yosef HaKohen, on the name of Rabbi Chaim of B'siyata Dishmaya. But when I came back, I got COVID. So Baruch Hashem, I'm going to meet you, Bli Neder, next week in the shul, but this week we're going to do everything on Zoom. So I would like B'siyata Dishmaya to bless that we will all have the zchut to greet Mashiach Tzidkenu b'chayim במהרה בימינו אמן. אליהו נביא אליהו תשבי אליהו גלעדי, במהרה יבוא אלינו משיח דוד, אליהו נביא זכור לטוב. And we all have the zchut to see the building of בית המקדש השלישי במהרה בימינו אמן. כי עין בעין יראו בשוב אדוני ציון. אתה תקום תרחם ציון, כי עת לך עננה כי בא מועד. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשוב חדש ימינו כקדם. Dear girls, בשם השם נעשה ונצליח, אין עוד מלבדו, השם שפתיי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Today the shiur will be on the Garach of Volozhin, Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin, which was the student of הגאון מווילנה, עליהם השלום זכותה תגן עלינו, and it's also בסייעתא דשמיא לעילוי נשמת מלכה דינה, בת מרים ואברהם, עליה השלום תהיה נשמתה צרה וצרור חיים, ולעילוי נשמת our father אליהו בן יוסף, הנולד ממלכה דינה, עליו השלום תהיה נשמתו צרה וצרה חיים. And בסייעתא דשמיא it's for רפואה שלמה to everybody that needs, including from Aleph to Taf, including בסייעתא דשמיא של שרה בת מלכה, שרה בת מלכה, there's two Sarah Bat Malka. There's Sarah Bat Malka, the daughter of Madlena. There's Sarah Bat Malka, the mother of Leah Boutier. So for both of them we are saying, I didn't think about it before I said the name, but for both of them, בעזרת השם רפואה שלמה, ולרחל חיה בת לאה שרה, ושרה רחל בת חסידה שרה, ובסייעתא דשמיא לרבקה בת שרה, רפואה שלמה למרדכי בן רבקה, בסייעתא דשמיא לחי עידית יהודית בת רחל, אמן. And דוד דניאל בן סגליציגי, everybody that needs בעזרת השם מאלף עד תף, that everybody is included, and all the people that are healthy, בעזרת השם, Hashem continue their health mentally and physically, בעזרת השם. So we're going to speak about the Garach Volozhin, בסייעתא דשמיא, which is Yad. The 14th of the month of Sivan is his Yortzeit. So we know, everybody knows about the big Segula that Garach Volozhin gave, and he said, and I'm going to his book, Nefesh HaChaim, it's Nefesh HaChaim, it's Gate 3, Shar Gimel, Perek Yud Bet, chapter 12, and it's written like this there. Hu inyan gadol u'sgula nifla. There's a big issue and a big Segula. להסיר ולבטל מעליו כל דינין ורצונות אחרים. To take off from yourself all of the judgment and all of wills of other people, הקפדות of other people from yourself, שלא יוכלו לשלוט בו, that they cannot control you, ולא יעשו שום רושם כלל, and nothing will happen to you. כשאדם קובע בליבו, when a man has to decide in his heart, לאמור, to say, הלא השם הוא האלוקים האמיתי, that Hashem is God, the true God, ואין עוד מלבדו, and there's none except for him, יתברך, ואין עוד מלבדו יתברך, there's none except for him, the blessed one, שום כוח בעולם, no power in the world, וכל העולמות, and all of the worlds, אצילות, בריאה, יצירה, עשייה, וכל העולמות כלל, והכל מלא רק אחדותו הפשוט יתברך שמו. And all of the worlds, and everything that we see around us, everything is only His unity, the unity of Hashem. It's only His name. הוא מבטל בליבו ביטול גמור, and you take off from your heart totally, that there's nothing except Hashem, ואינו משגיח כלל על שום כוח ורצון בעולם, and you don't pay attention to no power or will in the world, and you enslave yourself, ומשעבד ומדבק טוהר מחשבתו, so you enslave yourself and you cling your thoughts, you make them pure by taking out everything and just putting Hashem in your thoughts, you make them pure. Only that רק לאדון יחיד ברוך הוא. All of your thoughts should be on Hashem. כן יספיק הוא יתברך בידו, שממילא יתבטלו מאליו כל הכוחות והרצונות שבעולם, שלא יוכלו לפעול בו שום דבר כלל. Which means that if a person does this and puts its heart and clings to Hashem and knows that Hashem is everything, God is everything, and everything is God, period. From the name of Hashem, the 4 letters of the name of Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is the tree of life, and which is from this, all of the 4 rivers of paradise comes from the 4 letters of the name of Hashem, Pishon, Gichon, all of the rivers. Everything comes from His unity, from His name. So if a person empties himself with all of the anger, all of the jealousy, all of the emotions that we have, all of the past, when we cling to the past, we don't have present and not future. The past didn't kill us, we are still here. So the past, all of the experiences and all of the challenges and all of the sufferings that we had in the past are supposed to give us spiritual strength to the challenges that we have now in the present and that we're going to have in the future. This is only test of emunah, of faith in Hashem. From the moment we come to this world and until the moment that we go out of this world, the whole test is the emunah in Hashem, emunah v'bitachon, which means faith and confidence. But without faith, there's no confidence. So faith and confidence and trust in Hashem. This is everything, the whole of the challenges that we have. So he says, when a person has this in his mind, then this is a big segula to take off enemies, to take off any challenges. That if a challenge seems big like an elephant, it will become like a fly, and everything becomes small because you are with Hashem, b'fchinat shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid, that I see Hashem in front of me all the time, which means Hashem is with me all the time. And this is a big segula to say it every day, and to say, Hareini ma'amina be'emunah shlema, that I believe in full faith, שאין שום כוח בעולם שיכול להרע לי או להיטיב לי, that there's no power in the world that can wrong me or can do good things to me, בלעדי הבורא יתברך שמו, except for Hashem, bless his name, כל מה שעושה הקדוש ברוך הוא הכל לטובה. Everything that Hashem does is for the best, for the good, בסייעתא דשמיא. So this can happen only if we prepare ourselves. So over here in chapter 12, he gives a beautiful example, and he speaks, and we spoke about Rabbi Chanina several times, and when we spoke about Ein Hara, and when we spoke Ein Od Milvado, we had shiurim about it, Torah lessons, so we spoke about it. And Rabbi Chanina, there was a witch going behind him, and she was collecting the earth that he was, the dust that he was standing on, and he told her that she can do whatever she wants, but Ein Od Milvado, that he puts his trust in Hashem, and nobody can hurt him unless Hashem gives permission to do that. And it's deeper than this, because truly, atovot v'araot, all of the good and the non-good things, which also the non-good things is only good eventually, but we don't see it when we are in this world. So because we are passing through this world, so eventually all of them are for our benefit. And why do we have all of the good things come from Hashem? Hashem only brings good. And haraot le'ordot, in Megillat Eicha it's written that the good and the bad does not come from HaShem in the essence of that we are the recipients of Hashem's light, and by our actions, the blessings from Hashem become either good or become not good. And how can this happen? So it happens by Hashem brings a light of prosperity towards the world. He bestows light of prosperity upon the world. What happens, this becomes letters, and the letters come towards us. So the letters can have a combination of a good word, and the letters can have a combination of a not good word. It's the same letters. It depends on our actions. We are the recipients. If we do the good things and we cling to Hashem and we know our essence, and the goal in this world is to know Hashem and to do His will, and by this we are free of the evil inclination, and by this we are a vessel to Hashem's blessings, then all of the combination of the letters that come upon us become combination of good words, and Hashem bestows His blessing upon us. But if chas v'shalom we don't listen and we do things not in the will of Hashem, then all of the combination of the letters become a combination of words that are not so good. And by this we have diseases, we have trials, there are a lot of things that are considered judgment. But eventually all of this helps us to cleanse ourselves from everything that we did not in the will of Hashem. So even in the judgment there's a lot of mercy. So let's continue. So we see that Rabbi Hanina, it's not that Rabbi Hanina told that witch that he trusts in Hashem because he trusts in his good deeds. It's not what he's saying. ודאי לא היה מחזיק עצמו רבי חנינה דנפיש זכותה כל כך מתורתו ומעשיו הטובים המרובים, that he beholds of all of his good deeds and the study of the Torah, עד שבעבורם היה סמוך ליבו שלא ישלוט בו פעולת כשפים. That because of this he was sure that no witchcraft can work on him. But כיוון שבאמת, but he knows that all of the witchcraft, there's nothing really real about them. All of this, they are using all of the power of Hashem, the good power of Hashem, and they use it on the shell of all of their judgments, and by this we feel like it's working. But no, dear ladies, even when women come to me and they feel that somebody put a curse on them or somebody did a witchcraft on them, dear ladies, if we cling to Hashem, and if we study Torah, we say Tehillim every day, we say Birkot HaShachar, we say Shema Yisrael Bezrat Hashem, nothing can touch us. Only Hashem can touch us. So we shouldn't be afraid of a human being. We should be afraid of Hashem, a fear of honor of Hashem, the essence of Hashem, to know that He is our Father in heaven, and we should listen to what He wants us to do, and fulfill His commandments, and follow His attributes. So it says it's because when He told her, He meant that everything is in the hand of Hashem. And Kol David Rachmana Letav Avid, and everything that Hashem does He does for good. So even if Chas v'Shalom he gets a challenge from this, it's because Hashem wanted it for him, and because he has to wipe out a thought or a deed that he did that wasn't in the will of Hashem. That even if he did the mitzvah, but the mitzvah he didn't have in his mind that he's doing it in the sake of heaven. So what happens is, dear ladies, if we do a mitzvah, we do a good deed, and in our minds we didn't have Hashem, we did it in our minds, we did it for the sake of our honor, that we will be called righteous. So at that moment, all of this mitzvah goes to the other side. Kel acher is Yetzer Hara, is the evil inclination. That either we listen, we choose life and do good, and we listen to Hashem. There's no vacuum in between, or we don't listen to Hashem, and we choose to listen to the evil inclination, which means to do the opposite of what HaShem wants. So there's no in between. Either we listen or don't listen. But this is by 3 stages. It's by the thought, the speech, and the action itself. So if we spoke and we were reading Tehillim, for example, so the action is the mouth, the voice comes from the throat. So it's the voice, we have the voice, the speech, we have the action, and the thought is in our mind. And what happens? Then the evil inclination wants our mitzvah, and thoughts wander to other places. We read the Tehillim, but we are not with the Tehillim with Hashem at the same time. But our thoughts go to a different place. So what do? We have to pause, and this is not hefsek. We pause for a minute. We cleanse our mind for everything, because we want everything to go under the throne of Hashem. And we continue reading. In order to cleanse our minds, we can say in our mind, because now we are reading Tehillim, we can't stop in the middle of a chapter, but we can say בסייעתא דשמיא, אש תמיד תוקד על המזבח לא תכבה, from חומש ויקרא פרק ו' פסוק ו', or we can see the words of Shabbat in front of our eyes, the letters of Shabbat, which also cleanse our thoughts, or בסייעתא דשמיא, from פתאום הקטורת, we see the letters of ממולח טהור קודש, the ending letters, which is resh, the letter resh, chet, and the letter shin. So together we just visualize it, and it takes away the thoughts that are not right. And always before we do a mitzvah, everything, we say that we do it b'shem Kol Yisrael, in the name of Kol Yisrael, which is this Kol Yisrael. There's a place in heaven that is called Kol Yisrael, all of the children of Israel. And in that place, dear ladies, all of the souls of the children of Israel that is already fixed, and all of them are there. No sin can go over there. So if we do all of our actions towards Kol Yisrael, so besiyata dishmaya, the evil inclination cannot touch the mitzvah that we are doing. So let's continue, and we see that Rabbi Hanina had his trust in HaShem she'ein od milvado. There's nothing except for Hashem. There's no essence. There's none other Hashem. So we will see this. I'm going to give you an example before we go also to the Rambam that gives us a good explanation. What does it mean, Ein Od Milvado? So we have over here the example in Chumash Bamidbar. Parashat Chukat. In Chumash Bamidbar, Parashat Chukat, we see over there that it's written, Vayishma Knani Melech Harad, chapter 21, in Chumash Bamidbar, portion of Chukat. Vayishma Knani Melech Harad, Yoshev HaNegev, Ki Ba Yisrael. So we hear that the Knani, which is the king of Arad, he sits in the south of the land of Israel. And he heard that the children of Israel are coming, but he saw that the clouds of glory are not above them, because Aaron HaKohen passed away, and it wasn't above them because all of the cloud of glory was made by the peace that was among the children of Israel, that Aaron HaKohen did among the children of Israel. That there wasn't disagreement, they were all one. So they see that there's no cloud above them, and they think that they can hurt them. And we continue, and we see that the children of Israel are coming, and they're complaining to Moshe Rabbeinu, and they say, Lama eletanu mimitzrayim, why did you take us out of Egypt? Lamud bamidbar, ki ein lechem ve'ein mayim, ve'nafshenu katza b'lechem haklokel. That we don't have bread, we don't have water, and we are full from the man. And Hashem brings serpents upon them, snakes upon them, and they bite a big portion of the children of Israel. They come in front of Moshe Rabbeinu, and they tell him, Chatanu ki dibarnu b'Hashem ubach. We've sinned because we spoke about Hashem and about you. Itpalel el Hashem, please, Moshe Rabbeinu. Daven to Hashem, pray to Hashem, ויעשר מעלינו את הנחש, that he will take all of these snakes from us. ויתפלל משה באדם, and Moshe Rabbeinu, which was righteous, prayed for the children of Israel, and Hashem tells him to make a snake and to put it up on the pole, to put it up, and everyone that will look at the pole will be cured. And if he won't look at the pole, he won't be cured. This is very weird. So Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin says, it's in the continuation. I just wanted you to know the story before. In the continuation of Perek Yud Bet, he says like this. It's written in the Mishnah, Rosh Hashanah, page 29, Amud Aleph. It's written like this: Aseh lecha saraf, that you will make yourself a snake. And the question is, V'chi nachash memit o mechayeh? Does the snake is making a snake, and they look at the snake, and does the snake kill? The snake gives you life? Can a serpent cause you death or life? It doesn't seem logical. But when they put their eyes up to Hashem, B'siyata Dishmaya, which means up to heaven, and they put their trust in Hashem, and they knew that there's nothing except for Hashem, there's none other than Hashem, then they were cured. What does it mean? It means that there are times, for example, that when we are working, so we don't think about Hashem. Now we are working with the children, or we have businesses, we're working in the business, so at that time that we don't think about Hashem, and we're doing the physical things in this world, so the providence that we have around us is a little bit less, because we are not united with Hashem at that time. Spiritually, we are not united in our minds with Hashem at that time. But if we do what David HaMelech, King David said, Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid, that I put Hashem in front of me always, chapter 16 in Tehillim, then what happens? In the continuation of the sentence, it says, Ki mimini ba lemot, which means then Hashem is on my right all the time, and nothing, I cannot fall, nothing can happen to me. Lachen samach libi ve'agel kvodi. Because of that, I will be happy and I will be honored. Even my flesh, my body will be secured, which means will be healthy. You won't leave my soul to fall in hell. You won't let me see challenges that are not good. You will show me life. Sov asmachot, happy, sov asmachot et panecha, which means that I will be, you'll give me a happy heart, and I will be always seeing your face, which means clinging to you. Neimot biminecha netzach, that I will have a pleasure with you forever. Netzach is forever. So b'siyata dishmaya we see that Shiviti Hashem lenegdi tamid. Once they put their eyes into heaven, which is a good segula for everyone, and that we will always, I always tell you that if we have a problem, sit down and speak to Hashem like your friend, look to heaven, ask from Hashem for all of the blessings, tell him everything that happened to you, tell him everything, all of your thoughts, what do you think, ask from Hashem for a sign to help you, and B'siyata Dishmaya Hashem will help you. This means to cling to Hashem. That's why when they raised their eyes to heaven and they looked at the serpent, then they were raising their heart to Hashem and clinging to Him. And by this, they were taking all of the aral, the poison. They took, by this Hashem took all of the poison of the serpent out of them. They mamash eliminated the serpent from them. They eliminated the serpent from them from the inside, because they were complaining about what they have, and they clinged to Hashem. They subjected their heart to cling to Hashem. And from this we need to learn that we need 24/7 to cling to HaShem. How can we do that 24? Because we're asleep part of the time. So when we go to sleep, we say Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael al hamita. And when we do that, we cling to HaShem. And we say Shiviti HaShem lenegdi tamid. And we say Be'adcha afkid ruchi. Padita oti HaShem kelemet. Chapter 31 in Tehillim. So we say that, then we cling to HaShem all the time, and we put our soul in the hands of HaShem. So nobody can touch us. So the Zohar HaKadosh says about it. It says like this: Ba'akdama, at the opening, page 12, at the end of Amud Aleph, it's written Pikud HaRevi'ah. Leminda de HaShem hu Elokim, which means that we should know that HaShem is God. HaShem is the name of mercy of HaShem. God, Elokim, is the name of judgment of HaShem. But know that both of them are one. That's why we say Shema Yisrael HaShem Elokeinu HaShem Echad. Shema Yisrael, listen, the children of Israel, HaShem, the name of HaShem of mercy, Elokeinu HaShem Echad, which means that the name of mercy of HaShem and the name of judgment of HaShem, they're all mercy, they're all one. They're all included in Yud Kei Vav Kei. And he gives an example, the Zohar HaKadosh, from Parashat Vayetchanan, Ve'yadata hayom, and you should know today, Ve'eshivot ha'ele vavcha, and you should put it in your heart, Ki Hashem hu Elokim, that Hashem, the name of Hashem of mercy, hu Elokim, this is the name of God, which means they're all one. Bashamayim mimal, in heaven, ve'al haaretz mitachat, and on earth below, in heaven above and on earth below, Ein Od, there is none other than Hashem. Nothing in this universe, in this world. So this is one of the mitzvot, it's written in mitzvah Arvit, to know that Hashem hu Elokim. And we say that, but we can say it with our mouth, but we don't know it with our hearts. So we should know it with our heart. And it says, V'nichlal Shem Elokim b'Shem Aviyah, that the name of Hashem, of judgment, which means the name of God, Elokim, is included in the name of mercy of Hashem. And וכשאדם ידע שהכל אחד ולא ישים פירוד, and a human being, when he knows that everything is one, also the challenges that we have from Hashem, that everything is from Hashem, everything is one, אפילו הסטרא אחת יסתלק מן העולם. Even the evil inclination will be eliminated with all of its soldiers. This is what our sages did. It's working on yourself. This is what knowing that Ein Od Milvado. There's none other than Hashem. So the name Elokim, in the name Elokim, we have Elokim is the name of judgment. It starts with Kel, and then it has Hayam. The part of Hayam, V'tashlich mimtzulot yam kol chatotam, it's one of the 13 attributes of Hashem from the prophet Micha. And it's part of the Tomer Dvorah that we are studying. So B'siyata Dishmaya, this is the ocean, that over there you throw all of the sins into it. Vekel, Chesed Kel Kol Hayom, that the mercy of Hashem is the whole day. So truly, there's a lot of mercy in the judgment. Why? Because it cleanses us from all of the things that we did not in the will of Hashem. But mercy, the name of mercy of Hashem and the name of judgment are all one. This is all one. It all comes from the mercy of Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei. And the challenges that we have, everything comes from the recipients, from us, from our actions, our deed. ולכן, and therefore, וגם יגזור עומר והקם לו, לפעול עניינים וניסים נפלאים, היפוך סידור כוחות הטבעיים. So Hashem, that is from the beginning of the world, before the world was created, and will be after the world is not here anymore. Hashem can do whatever He wants in this world. He just gave us the freedom of choice to choose to do His will. So, B'siyata Dishmaya, let's go and see what the Rambam says about it. and I'm going to Moreh Nevochim. It's part 3, chapter 51, פרק נ"א. And it says like this. אחר כך תעסוק בהתייחדות אליו. It says everybody has to be one with Hashem and to be close to Hashem, כלפי קרבתו, ויתעבה המגע אשר בינך ובינו והוא השכל. Which means in your mind we need to be close to Hashem and to make it thick, you know, not a string that is very thin, but to make it thick by our thoughts, to think about Hashem and to know that there's an eye that sees, an ear that listens, and all of our actions are written in a book. So it's really very easy to speak to Hashem, just like we speak to a friend and to tell him everything. This is התבודדות, by speaking to Hashem and telling him everything and asking guidance and asking that we won't fall with pride, that he will always show us that we will be humble, בסייעתא דשמיא. And we continue, and he says like this, and אתה הראת לדעת כי השם, just like that כי השם הוא האלוקים, וידעת היום ושיבות האלה לבבך. And that we need to remember, just from Parashat Vayetchanan, the same sentence that we spoke, that Hashem, the name of mercy of Hashem, is God, is the name of judgment of Hashem. All of it is one, and there's nothing that Hashem is in heaven, above us, Hashem is on earth, below us, Hashem is everywhere, בסייעתא דשמיא. דעו כי אדוני הוא אלוהים. Know that Hashem is God, בסייעתא דשמיא. And we have, and it says over here that we have, אמר לאהבה את השם אלוקיכם ולעבדו בכל לבבכם ובכל נפשכם. We say it in Shema Israel that we should love Hashem with all of our heart and with all of our soul. So he says, אהבה כפי ערך ההשגה, which means the love of Hashem is by the notion of knowing Hashem. Knowing Hashem in our minds and in our hearts. Not only in the mouth. We can say in the mouth, but we can say it but not believe it in our hearts. It has to touch our hearts. So this is what he says. ודע כי אף אם היית החכם בבני אדם, even if you were the smartest of human beings, באמיתת המדע האלוהי, and you learn Torah, and you know Torah, and you know Mishnah and Gemara, and you read the Zohar, הרי בשעה שאתה מרוקן את מחשבתך מהשם, ומתעסק בכל ישותך באכילה הכרחית. So at the time, they give example over here, at the time that you take your Hashem from your mind, which means you don't think at that time about Hashem. And for example, he gives that when you are eating, so we do netilat yadayim. Let's say we do a motzi, netilat yadayim. We say a motzi and then we start eating. So at that time, we are taking care of our body so we can have the strength to worship Hashem. As both on that moment when we empty our minds from Hashem, because what does it mean emptying our minds from Hashem? Because we don't think at that moment on Hashem. We are thinking about the food that we are eating. So הינך מפסיק אותו המגע אשר בינך ובין השם. At that moment, it's like if you're one with Hashem, like this, you were one with Hashem, now there's a little bit distance. Why? Because you're not thinking, you're not one with Hashem again. You're thinking about the materialistic world now. You're thinking about the food. So it says, ואינך עמו אז. It's like you're with him, but it's not with him like you were before, because your thoughts are not with Hashem. וכן אין הוא עמך. So he is not with you. The divine presence that was before this, when you were thinking about Hashem, is not the same as it is now. כי אותו היחס אשר בינך ובינו כבר נפסק. Because for the split second that you stop thinking about him, so you're not clinging to him like it was before. נפסק בפועל באותה שעה, ולפיכך היו החסידים, and because of that the חסידים, which means all of the righteous people, מקפידים על הזמנים שמעסיקים אותם שלא בו. They would pay attention at the time that they that they do things that is connected to the physical world. והזהירו על כך, and they also told people to beware of this, ואמרו, אל תפנו כל מדעתכם. Don't take Hashem out of your minds. And with this, David HaMelech said, שיוויתי Hashem לנגדי תמיד, that I will always think about Hashem with everything that I do. אני לא רוקנתי מחשבתי ממנו, David HaMelech says, I didn't take from my mind Hashem from me, ממנו, כאילו הוא יד ימיני, and because of that he's my right hand, אשר לא אתעלם ממנה. I can't ignore my right hand. So like I cannot ignore my right hand, this is the same. I will not ignore and besake Hashem. He will always be in my minds. So he says, אשר לא אתעלם ממנה הרף עין בגלל מהירות תנועתה, לפיכך לא אמות, כלומר לא אפול. So let's continue, and this is what the Rambam says. Continues to say, והנה נראה לי עתה אופן עיוני נפלא מאוד. So he says, I can see a beautiful thing from all of this, שבו מתפרקים ספקות והתגלו בו סודות אלוקיים. By what he's going to reveal to us, all of the doubts will go away and big secrets, heavenly secrets will be revealed. והוא, he says, כי לפי ערך דעת כל בעל דעה תהיה השגחה בו. This is incredible. This is mamash incredible. He says, by the knowing of Hashem, da'at, the knowing is in the heart. It's not enough in the mind. The heart has to feel. By the knowing of Hashem, the value of knowing Hashem, there's a divine presence upon the person. The more we feel Hashem, the more we are connected to Hashem, the day 24/7, the more we are connected, the more the divine presence is with us. There's no separation. We are one with Hashem. One with Hashem. והנה האדם השלם בהשגתו, a person who is came to a level of knowing Hashem, אשר לא תחדל דעתו מהשם תמיד, that he will be בבחינת שיוויתי השם לנגדי תמיד, that always he will think about Hashem in everything. Before he speaks, even he says בסייעתא דשמיא, בעזרת Hashem, before he speaks, he will mention the name of Hashem, that all of the words comes from Hashem. Before he does everything that we do in the house, Hashem, please help me to finish, to do the right thing. Please, Hashem, help me to do the laundry, to dry the clothes, to do the cooking, the baking, everything that I need, that Hashem know that I'm just doing the effort, but everything is from you because the soul is from you. You gave me the livelihood. So you are the one that is picking me up. You are the one that is doing this. So לא תחדל דעתו מהשם תמיד. Always Hashem will be in his thought, because all of our actions are from three parts. The thought, the speech, because once we speak, the ears listen. The ears are the microphone of the whole body, and then the body is the part, the organs of the action, and then we do things. So תהיה השגחה בו תמיד. Always Hashem will have divine providence around this person, because he's connected to Hashem. He's one. He's above nature. We are above nature because we're one with Hashem. Ein Od Milvado. There's nothing except for Hashem. There's nothing except for Hashem. והאדם השלם בהשגחתו אשר רוקן מחשבתו מהשם בעת מסוים, and even a righteous person that for he's eating, he's doing, so that's why you say divrei Torah on the table. You say Hashem b'siyata dishmaya, that everything that I eat will be, that I will be healthy, that I can worship you, that I will have the koach, the power to worship you. הרי תהיה השגחה עליו בעת מחשבתו בהשם בלבד. So know that when we think about Hashem, there's direct divine providence directly on us and clinging to us. But the moment that we don't think about Hashem, ותתרוקן ההשגחה ממנו בזמן עסקיו. We are doing business, we are selling in a store, we are doing other things, we went to the store now to buy, we don't think about Hashem at that minute, We are not one with Hashem like we were before when we were thinking about Hashem. And then the supervision, the divine presence that we have, the divine providence that we have about us is a little bit less around us. ואין התרוקנה ממנו אז, כי התרוקנה ממי שלא השכיל כלל. And this is furthermore about a person who doesn't even know Hashem, that doesn't even have a clue who's Hashem, and does not cling to Hashem. Because when you cling to Hashem, like Avraham Avinu, that was the only person in the world, the only man in the world that said, if there's a capital, there has to be a leader to the capital. So there has to be Hashem. And he announced the name of Hashem everywhere. So when they threw him, when Nimrod, the king, threw him in Kasdim, in the city of Kasdim, they threw him to the fire for 3 days, he was above nature. Hashem took the angel to protect him because it was above nature. Why? Because he clung to Hashem. He was one with Hashem. So we see it in all of the history of the children of Israel. Hashem opened for us the ocean. Because Moshe Rabbeinu, that was the da'at of Am Yisrael, was that he was the knowing of Hashem for the children of Israel. He was one with Hashem, and Hashem opened the ocean in 12 paths. ויהיה מי שלא השכיל את השם כלל כמישהו בחושך ולא ראה אור כלל. And he who doesn't know Hashem and does not cling to Hashem, it's like a person who walks in the darkness, because there's either light or darkness. So even if there's a little bit light, it's light. So dear ladies, בסייעתא דשמיא, we see over here how he says that ממש you should write this to yourself, לפי ערך דעת כל בעל דעה, תהיה השגחה בו. By the knowing of Hashem, of each human being, each person, then this is how the divine providence is going to be above this person. So if we are one with Hashem, then b'siyata dishmaya, we have miracles above nature. So how do we do this? How do we become one with Hashem? There's a beautiful thing in Parashat Baalotcha, and we're going to Tomer Dvorah b'siyata dishmaya. And we're going to look at the attribute of humbleness, of the character traits of humbleness. So how do we cling to Hashem? Hashem says, how do I know that you love me? How do I know that you're always with me and everything that you do is for the sake of heaven if you love my children? So how do we love Hashem's children? So it says in Parashat Baalotcha, which this Shabbat is Parashat Baalotcha, tomorrow we're going to study Parashat Baalotcha. Ki Hashem diber tov al Yisrael. It says in Parashat Baalotcha, chapter 10, verse 29, Ki Hashem diber tov al Yisrael. Hashem speaks good about the children of Israel. Hashem spoke good about the children of Israel. So it says, sages say, that there are only two places that this combination of diber tov, which means speaks good, appears in all of the Tanakh. One is here in Parashat Baalotcha, that Hashem is the name of mercy of Hashem, speaks good about the children of Israel. And the other one is Megillat Esther. The Megillah, it says, diber tov al HaMelech, that he spoke good about the king. And you know, every place that it's written in the Megillah, the king, without mentioning the name of Achashverosh, it means the King of Kings, which is Hashem, which is God. So from here we know that he who speaks good about the children of Israel is speaking good about Hashem. So can you imagine if we find the merit of each other, if we are kind to each other, if we were kind to each other, immediately all of us, just like you saw that Moshe Rabbeinu made the serpent and put it on the pole, and everybody looked up to heaven, all of the children of Israel, which means they repented over the Leshon Hara, over slandering Hashem and Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron, and by looking up to heaven, they did tshuva, and by doing this, they became united, and by this, there was a miracle above nature. Hashem healed them from this serpent's poison. So how do we do this? It's only if we have humbleness, only if we know that we can't love anyone if we don't cling also to the truth. We need to cling to the truth, to Hashem, and once we cling to Hashem, that is truth, that He still is truth, then we are true also to ourselves. And when we are true, because people know when we are true and when we are not true, and when we are true b'siyata d'ishmaya, then the divine presence is all about around us, because we're clinging to the seal of Hashem, which is truth. So it says over here, Rabbi Moshe Cordover Zchuto Teganenu says that a good portion in order to be humble is first to respect all creatures, all human beings. Hu lechabed hanivraim kulam, and all creatures. הוא לכבד הנבראים הראשון, הוא לכבד הנבראים כולם אחר שיכיר בהם מעלת הבורא אשר יצר האדם בחוכמה. Which means that he will know that Hashem created all humanity, all human beings, from the measure of the counts of the Kabbalah of wisdom. וכן כל הנבראים חוכמת היוצר בהם, and all of the creations, the animals, the plants, everything that we see around us, the wisdom of the Creator is in them. ויראה בעצמו שהרי הם נכבדים מאוד מאוד, and he will realize that they are very precious and very honorable in front of Hashem, שנטפל יוצר הכל, that the Creator, החכם הנעלה על כל בבריאתם, that Hashem was involved himself, that he is the wisest of wisest with creating them, which means human beings and the animals and the plants, everything that we see around us. Hashem created everything. Heavens, earth, the stars, moon, everything that we see, the sun, the moon, everything that we see around us. Everything was made by Hashem. And for what? To serve Hashem. For whom? For the human being. That the human being, that us, the children of Israel, will follow the way of Hashem and fulfilled all of the 620 commandments, 613 from the Torah and 7 commandments from our sages, which is 620, which is the numerical value of a crown of Keter, and the nations, the 7 commandments of Noach. And he says over here, ואילו יבזה אותם חס ושלום, that if he despises human beings, or he despises them and he touches and he affects their honor, this is the same thing like he affects and despises Hashem, because these are his children. And remember that the children of Israel are the firstborns of Hashem. And he says this is like a tzoref, which means like an artist that made a vessel, a craftsman, an artist that made a vessel, and he felt, with all of his imagination and everything that he has, he made the vessel, and he felt it is a beautiful thing, and people will come and tell him, wow, this is disgrace, it's not something nice. He will have anger for despising his work. So Hashem doesn't want us to despise each other. He wants us to love each other. He doesn't want us to slander each other. He wants us to respect each other. By respecting and finding the merit of each other, then Hashem b'siyata d'ishmaya knows that we love Him. By this we are clinging to Hashem, because by this we show Hashem Ein Od Milvado. There's nothing else, there's no essence except the essence of Hashem in this world. So by respecting His creation, respecting His children, we show Him that we know that there's no essence except for Hashem, and Hashem, who created the whole world, we respect the creation that Hashem created. So by doing this, we are really stating stating that there's nothing else, there's no essence in this world except the essence of Hashem. Ein Od Milvado. There's none other than Hashem. So, and the second thing he says here, Lachnis ahavat bnei adam, that we will be accustomed to put the love of human beings inside our hearts. Va'afilu haresha'im, even the wicked ones, those are our brothers. Ki'ilu hayu echa veyoter mize, even more than this. So not only that he will consider them as their brothers, because really they're his brothers, but even more than that, we should love them until we see we can dislike their actions, but we love them because Hashem created them. The essence of Hashem's soul is in them. And if Hashem gives life to a human being, it means he's waiting for his tshuva. And Hashem knows what he's doing. So, yohav otam belibo, and that we will love every human being in our hearts, ויאמר מי ייתן ויהיו אלו צדיקים שווים בתשובה ויהיו כולם גדולים ורצויים לפני המקום. So we ask from Hashem, he says that, please Hashem, yehi ratzon, let it be, I wish, that all of the humanity will be righteous, and they will all do tshuva, and they will be all liked and loved by you, Hashem, b'siyata dishmaya, by their deeds that are good deeds and they're following your ways. So, b'siyata dishmaya, dear ladies, we're going back to Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin, and Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin says that we should all, this is a big segula, in order to take all of the challenges that we feel that are not good, in order to cling to Hashem, in order to show him that we know that there's none other than Hashem in this world, that Hashem is everything, and everything is Hashem. To say, Hareini ma'amina be'emunah shlema, I believe in whole faith, she'ein shum koach ba'olam, that there's no power in the world, she'achol le'ara li, or le'itiv li, that can harm me, or do good to me, bil'adei haborei yitbarach shmo, except for Hashem, blessed his name. Kol ma she'oseh HaKadosh Baruch Hu, everything that Hashem does, hakol letova, everything is good. B'siyata dishmaya. By doing this, we eliminate all of the things that are around us. We cling to Hashem, we are one with Hashem. One by thought, one by speech, and one by action. And by this, like the Rambam says, כי לפי ערך דעת כל בעל דעה תהיה השגחה בו. So by the knowing of Hashem, of each and every one of us, knowing not only in speech, in our mind, but in our hearts, feeling that this is the truth, בסייעתא דשמיא, by this, the divine providence will be upon each and every one of us. And we will have the zchut of all of the tzaddikim, Be'ezrat Hashem. This is what they did. They worked on their character traits. They worked on themselves, reminding themselves. This is an everyday job, to remind ourselves that we need to cling to Hashem with everything that we do. Once we do this, we cling to Hashem with our thoughts, with everything that we do during the day, during day and night. Then, b'siyata dishmaya, the divine providence is above us and with us all of the time, Be'ezrat Hashem. And everything that happens to us is everything above nature. It's a big miracle. Nature is a miracle, and everything that Hashem wants to do above nature is a big miracle. So let's bless Be'ezrat Hashem that we will all have in the zchut of Rabbi Chaim of Volozhin, הרמב"ם, רבי משה קורוטוברו, עליהם שלום זכותם תגן עלינו, בזכות משה רבנו, עליו השלום זכותו תגן עלינו. May Hashem בסייעתא דשמיא bring Mashiach tzidkenu ברחמים מורים במהרה בימינו, amen. May we all have the zchut to see and hear אליהו נביא זכור לטוב, and בסייעתא דשמיא תלינו בטוב ותקיצו בשועה ורחמים. לעולם ייפרד אדם מחברו בדבר להלכה, יחיד ברבים, הלכה כרבים. Siggy? I love you girls.
Amen. We love you, Rabbanit. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbanit. Amazing shiur.